If you've only got $1,000 to invest in cryptocurrency right now, what are the best tokens to buy? Can I still make money with just a small amount of money to start with in crypto? Guys, I'm here to answer all of those questions for you because I get asked this question a lot in my free Telegram group, which is linked down below. And in this video, we're going to address that issue. I'm also going to tell you my top picks for starting with a smaller amount of money in crypto. So if that sounds good, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Let's get into today's video. So we're going to start over here on coinmarketcap.com, which tells us all the information or basic information about each crypto. And at the top, we've got Bitcoin, then we've got Ethereum. Now, the bigger the market cap, the overall value of the particular cryptocurrency, the less likely it is to go to zero. That's very, very important because it means it's less risky. It does, however, mean that if you invest in it, it's harder for it to go up as a percentage. For example, if I want Bitcoin to go up 10%, so if I put in $100 and I want to make it $110, then based on this $550 billion market valuation, it's going to need to add $55 billion to its market cap. As you're aware, $55 billion is a lot of money. So while the risk is reduced, the reward is also reduced. But I want to point out something else that people are doing, I've noticed, that also I don't think is a good idea. Now, I could be wrong. You're obviously free to do your own thing, but I'm just giving my 2 cents on this. It's not financial advice. I'm going to use this as an example. This is Medicaid, very cool token. It's basically launching in a day or two, and I think it's probably going to do really well. I think it's going to do really well. I don't know it's going to do really well. So for example, if I had my $1,000 and I put $1,000 into Medicaid right now and it blows up, then yeah, I'm the king. I'm going to do really well this market because I've got loads of money for crypto in general. But on the flip side of things, what happens if, I'm not saying it is, if there's like something wrong with it or something goes wrong with the launch and basically that loses 90% of value in the first day. That's happened before. I'm not saying it's going to happen to Medicaid. I actually am invested in Medicaid. I wouldn't go investing in these small tokens right now if you've got a smaller amount of capital to invest in crypto. And there's a big reason for that as we look into this Bitcoin chart. And there's a big reason for that. I'm going to look at this Bitcoin chart to show you why this is so significant. I want to show you what happened basically around 2020. We were sort of sat in this area. I do believe we're sat in a similar area right now. I do think that we could potentially see a bit of a pullback, but we could just carry on to the upside. Not really sure. Doesn't really matter for the point of this video, right? We're sat down here. And then from there, we saw Bitcoin basically exploding in just a few weeks, all the way up 524%. Now, once Bitcoin did this, you then had altcoin season. So the altcoins then stepped up and then they started to boom towards the upside. And because they had smaller market caps, they also boomed as well. But I want to spare a moment for all of the people who started down here with $1,000, who bought something very risky that went to zero. And then when this happened, they were just sat at home feeling sorry for themselves because they couldn't make any money in this market. Whereas what might have helped them is if they bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and they'd had $5,000 of Bitcoin up here, they could have maybe sold $4,000 of Bitcoin and bought another like 40 different projects for $100 each. And maybe just one of those projects did 100x and then they left with 10 grand from that one investment. Well, now we're looking a bit better because we've got lots of investment exposure that was just created from our original $1,000. I talked about this a lot in the video I made yesterday, so make sure you go and view this afterwards. It's about Cardano, but it talks a lot about how to manage your money through the market cycles. So as we jump back to coin market cap, now $1,000, despite what you're thinking, actually can go quite a long way in crypto. Bearing in mind right now, for Bitcoin to go back to these highs up here, you're looking at 130%, which means you can get $1,300 back from your $1,000 initial investment. But that's just Bitcoin. We do actually have better opportunities in the market. And I want to show you Chainlink, which from current levels, all-time highs, will 6x. That means your $1,000 will be worth $6,000. That means you'll make $6,000 if we get back to the top. Now, Ethereum has already seen quite a lot of pumpage, but you would still potentially see from current levels, not saying that we're just going to go up in a straight line from here, who knows, you would see $1,600 on top of your original $1,000 investment. Polkadot, another top 20 coin, would see pretty much 7x to the top. And if we jump back to CoinMarketCap, you get the picture. I'm telling you that right now, you don't want to be looking for the sexy, exciting cryptocurrencies. If you compare crypto with stocks, you're all here because crypto is sexy and exciting. And when NFTs come out, if you're a proper degenerate, you'll start going down those routes as well. But with the crypto gains that you can make at this time in the market, where potentially the next 6 months to 18 months, who knows exactly within that time cycle? I know that's a very broad time cycle, but anyone who's telling you that exactly when Bitcoin is going to top is a complete joker and not worth their time when you've got people who predicted the financial crisis in 2008 getting the calls wrong, and you've got other people who got the last market cycle wrong, now getting the market calls right. No one knows, guys, okay? I'm not going to sit here and tell you exactly where coins are going to get to or anything like that, but what I do know is if I look through this list and I pick these out, and don't just click off this video after I've told you what these are, because it's essential you know what to do with them, the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Personally, I wouldn't be picking Bitcoin if I only had $1,000, but Ethereum I think is a definite coin worth having exposure to. Again, not financial advice. This is what I would do if I had $1,000. Ethereum, you've got Cardano here, Solana, Polkadot, Polygon, Chainlink, and as well as these, you've got Cosmos, Stellar, Hbar, Arbitrum, Algorand, ICP, Quant. Okay, now go through the top 50 coins. You can see on the left the number, right? Top 50, okay? And go and find yourself 5 coins. The ones I've mentioned are a good place to start. You can go and look at YouTube videos and list down the ones you hear about. Go and learn what they are and understand why they have such great upside. Now, you will see a potentially bigger upside from the likes of Hbar and VeChain, etc. than you would from Ethereum's because they're higher up. But as the rule goes, because they have smaller market caps, they are ultimately slightly more risky. And then what do? Well, you pull the trigger and you buy 5 of them. You're happy investing in because you understand what they do. You like them, you tell your mates about them. I'm now the proud owner of some DOT tokens or some Hbar, whatever it is. And then you can come back and let's just use DOT because it's open right now and that's convenient for me. So I've got my 5 cryptos and obviously some of them might do really well, some of them might do nothing, okay? If one of them does nothing, then so what, okay? Maybe I could have made a little bit more if I'd pulled the right one, but I don't know if I'd pulled the right one at the start. So let's just say that we have DOT sat at this current valuation and it goes up here to this point and I've made 264%. Remember, I had $200 in there because I put 5 tokens, my $1,000, $200. So now roughly my $200 is worth now a whopping $700 because I've already wiped my face pretty much for that $1,000 nearly. If it completely all went to zero from there, then, you know, maybe I'd take a little loss. But what I can do with that $700 now, bearing in mind that this is not really the time in the market when these kind of whopping great 1000x coins come about. They tend to come slightly later on. In my opinion, they're not really launching right now. You can go and find tokens and put in like $100 into each of them. And while your $100 in Quant or Polkadot or Hbar or Solana or whatever it is won't necessarily go above a 10x, a 20x, who knows? Maybe it will, okay? Maybe you'll make it 20x. But what you do know, and in my opinion, you are pretty much guaranteed to make, let's say, 3 or 4x on all of those tokens that I've listed. One of them will blow up like this, okay? And this $700 I've now got just from coming to this level of the market. I'm not only talking about coming to here. I've now got $700. So what I can do at this point is I can leave $200 in the game. And then if my $200 continues towards the upside, then I've made 125% on that $200. But now I've got an additional $500, remember $700 minus $200, to invest in 5 different cryptocurrencies at $100 each. Now you're saying, well, I can't make any money from $100. Well, if you find an altcoin that blows up and does 1000x on your $100, then you make $100,000 from that $100 token. They're obviously much more difficult to find. But the thing is, you need to get exposure to those tokens. But I don't recommend you get exposure to them now because most of those tokens that you think might go to 1000x will probably just end up with a big fat L. My advice to you, take it or leave it, is to pick 5 great cryptocurrencies in the top 50 that you can go and invest $200 in each. If you've got less money, well, you can do one of 2 things. Either make fewer investments, maybe pick 3, or try and make some savings somewhere else, or maybe get a side job or side hustle, because any money you're making right now that you can afford to put into crypto, potentially every hour that you work, if it 3x's, so money invested right now, if you've got a chance to get a side hustle or something like that, then maybe go and do it. And I get it, you're telling me, oh, I haven't got time for that, I've got a full-time job, it's easy for you. Well, I did also have a full-time job before I started doing YouTube and trading and doing all these other things. And I'm not telling you that to try and say that I'm a hero or anything like that, guys. I know people have got responsibilities. But if you've got some free time to maybe increase your income a bit, just so you have a little bit more disposable that you can put into different cryptos, I don't think you're going to regret it. Because even if you lose that money, at least you gain some experience in doing something else, whatever that might be. And if you want to know more about what to invest in right now, are you really struggling with that? Well, get into my Telegram group, link down below, absolutely free. There's also a premium version, which is $9.99 per month with a 5-day free trial where I'm bringing up every day a new token, as well as giving advice on what's happening in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and things like that right now. So just click on the link down below and it will take you there. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe, share it with your friends if you can.